Hey everybody. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Knicks at Night podcast. I'm your man, Uncle Freezy. I'm joined by Hoodie Kev. Hoodie Kev, what's good, man?
Having mixed feelings tonight, really. Um, actually, uh, but we'll get into that the game, and I'm pretty sure everyone is feeling some kind of way about the ending. But I'm having mixed feelings about it.
Man, this man, I have this weird feeling like it was like watching the end of Infinity War. You know what I'm saying? To me, that's what it feels like. And I'm sorry for keep using MCU references. I don't want to get into
No, no, it's
MCU
fine.
stuff
It's
tonight.
fine.
Yo, what's up? What's up, Orange Julius? What's up, YouTube watcher? Kodak Vlogs, what's good? Point five, what's good? I see you. I see y'all, man. How y'all doing out there tonight? Um, I ain't gonna lie to you, y'all. I'm not feeling it. Like I'm not up for jokes tonight. I, I'm not really up for like sob stories or none of that. I feel like that game was taken from us. I feel like the game was taken from us, and it's not just this game, but it's the Toronto Raptors game, it's the Miami Heat game, it's the Portland Trailblazers game. This is such a weird theme, man, where we get these teams on the ropes, these teams that have better records than us on the ropes, and the referees legit take the game away from us. It's not fair, and I'm frustrated by it, man. What's good, Chef NYK? Excuse me,
No,
Ken.
no. I might as well just this is how I look at it, right? Now we have. If you play basketball on the street, right? You play street ball. You go to the park. You play with your friends. You go just play random pickup basketball, right? Rec league, whatever. This is what I have an issue with, right? And I understand where Julius' frustration is coming from, right?
Right,
But at the same time, I kind of feel like if he did that on the street, like if he was playing pickup basketball at like the park or something, everybody and their mama would have called that a travel, right?
right,
This is just me calling a spade, and again, I'm upset about the outcome of the play, but I just look deeper into it. Like if I was at the park and I'm playing and I did the exact same thing, everybody would call it travel.
right.
The only thing Julius had to do was just drop the ball. Like if Julius has dropped the ball, he could have picked it back up again. And I understand like
Right.
time was was winding down, but that's all Julius had to do was just all he had to do was just let the ball go. Because he would
Right.
have had a better argument that Kyrie touched the ball had he just let the ball go.
Right.
But the fact that he went up with it and came back down with it, that I think is where because everyone is killing Scott Foster. When I say everybody is killing Scott Foster, everybody is killing him. I don't want him to referee
Everybody.
another game in New
Period.
York because I'm worried about his safety.
Right. Right.
And that's the sad thing. It wasn't even the Garden. It was at Barclays.
Right.
But like I said, and I understand where Julius is coming from because the replay showed it that Kyrie touched the ball, whatever.
And his
Uh,
and his elbow and his elbow and his
yeah.
elbow.
So, like I said, the only thing I would have just said is I wish Julius. And here's my thing also. I don't like the disrespect that he showed his teammates and his coaching staff at the end. And everyone keeps saying, "Oh, I love that passion from Julius." It's like, nah, because at the end of the day, you're still a grown man, right? And your
Right. Right.
teammates
Right.
are grown men. So Taj Gibson and Obi Toppin went to Julius, right? And Julius was upset because of the ref. But at the end of the day, you're a professional, whatever. They made a decision. Don't come at me, your teammate, and Johnny Bryant. He did the same. It was Obi, Johnny Bryant, and Taj.
Right.
Don't come at me like that, because I'm trying to do the best thing for you before you get. Because how many technicals? Julie already has like one or two, or how many? He has a couple of technicals actually.
Right.
So I'm trying to keep you from being suspended, and you coming at me all rah rah rah. Because that's what it was. It's like, you really need to watch your tongue with me. So that's one thing I don't like, because there's a difference between passion and a difference between like disrespecting someone, especially your teammates, that's looking out for your best interests.
It sounds hypocritical, Kev.
How is that hypocritical?
For instance, when we get into the Kevin Knox debate and you get heated and I
Wait a
try to
minute.
diffuse it. No, serious. When
Go
I
ahead.
try to diffuse it by saying, "Hey, Kev, let's look at this a different way. Maybe, let's maybe take a time out from it. You know what I'm saying? Before we say something, and get this thing." And you get mad. There was a time where you actually left. You were so mad. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm like, once he leaving, man, we trying to, you know what I'm saying, look out for Hoodie Kev, right? And so what I'm saying is this. What I'm saying is this. Where was Obi Toppin, Johnny Bryant, and Taj Gibson when we were clearly getting disrespected on the floor? What did they say then towards the refs? Nothing, right? Julius, it gets fed up and blows his top. And now here y'all come. You know what I'm saying? You can't have it both ways. Like when Kyrie Irving tripped over Frank and they called the foul on Frank, right? You knew that was an offensive foul. You knew it, right?
Yes.
They called it on Frank, right? And that should have been a turnover. That's another possession we get back. Nobody blows their top or nothing. Julius Randle saw this was the crescendo. They were clearly giving Brooklyn all the calls. Down the stretch, the second foul on Frank down the stretch where Kyrie tripped over Frank again. I mean, come on, that was egregious. That was the first one. You're like, okay, that's a mistake, right? The
Well,
second one
here's
was egregious, man. I mean, come on, you can't keep
what
calling. That
the
was
second one on
great
Frank.
defense. Yes, that was not the second foul on Frank. I'm talking about the second foul late in the game between Frank and Kyrie.
Mm-hmm.
The second one was egregious. Come on, Frank played great defense. Kyrie couldn't figure it out, trips over Frank, and they call a foul on Frank. That's clearly a superstar call, but it should have been the right basketball call, man. Come on.
So here's the thing, and the league is a league of politics, and we all know that superstars get those calls, right? So Kyrie Irving has more cachet than Frank. So if it's 50-50, you know it's going in favor of Kyrie, because he's, and I don't even think the NBA wants him to be one of the faces of the league, but he is. And it's just one of those things. And I wish Julius had the cachet to get that call. But here's the thing. So this is from Scott Foster. He said, noting that Irving did get a hand on the ball, but it was not dislodged, and that Randle came down with it and released it and could not be the first to touch it again. That is Scott Foster's explanation.
Here's my explanation. The defender touched the ball first, and the players second, right? In the shooting motion. That's a foul on the defender, right? That's a foul on the defender, Scott Foster. Stop playing yourself. All he had to do was like, yeah, hey man, look, maybe I missed it. That's all he had to say. That's all Scott Foster had to say. Right? But you hit the ball and then hit the man on the elbow. because it's clear. Did you see Damian Lillard's tweet, Kev? You muted, man.
Yeah,
There
I
you
did Damian Lillard's tweet.
go. About how Kyrie hit my man elbow. How was that not a foul called? Come on, man.
I
Come on,
mean,
dog.
Freezer, if you had $1 for every blown referee call, you'd probably be a rich, lavish millionaire.
Yep.
Hmm?
Yep.
So he missed the call. He blew the call. The Frank fouls are, some of those were ticky tack, right? But you can see how,
Oh
like I
my
said, they can
God.
go 50-50. They were real ticky tack. They playing basketball, right? Let my man play basketball. But we also can't sit here and say we don't like some of the things that Kyrie did in drawing some of these fouls when we just sat here and lauded our own player for drawing ticky-tack fouls.
But Kev.
And we are in our emotions because it cost us the game. It cost us the game. So we feel some kind of way. But we just sat here last week and had a whole debate about our young player drawing ticky-tack fouls. And that's just a part of the game. And we were okay with it when our player was doing it.
Kev, that's wrong.
That's right.
That's wrong.
How is it wrong?
So what you're saying is, with the game on the line in a close game, Kyrie Irving draws a ticky-tack foul on Frank Ntilikina, right?
Well, at the
Now,
time when he got, which one? Because there was a couple.
right, the one that began like early in the fourth quarter. I think
So
it was
yeah,
early in
that
the fourth
wasn't. I
quarter.
mean, that was one of them calls that because they were up, right?
Right.
So he did something, drop foul. Okay, that's something that you can't complain about because at that point in time the game wasn't close. It was early in the fourth quarter, and Kyrie Irving drew a ticky-tack foul.
Okay. What I'm saying is there is a history of this against the Knicks. There's a history of it. You remember the Portland game in Portland?
Vaguely.
You remember the Portland game in Portland where they called a foul on Julius Randle, but my man had hit Julius Randle's arm, actually fouled Randle instead of Randle fouling the player, but they called a foul on Randle because it looked like Randle hit the other guy. And then after the game, they publicly apologized to Julius Randle and said they missed the call. That's a fact. We were down 2. If we get the ball back there, we could have tied the game, but instead we lost. So the game was taken out of our hand. Tonight, the game was taken out of our hand. You remember the Miami game? The Miami game where RJ Barrett goes to the basket, the last for the game winning layup, and it's fouled. They don't call anything. And they were like, well, we decided to let them play. Y'all decided to let them play? Really? I mean, come on. And then the other Miami game, Bam Adebayo goes to the free throw line 16 times, knocks down 13 free throws, 13 out of 16. Jimmy Butler is getting so many foul calls. He looks at Julius Randle like, bro, I put in a payment for foul calls, but I didn't know I was getting this many. It's like you order 6 wings from the Chinese place and you get 17 wings by accident. You know what I'm saying? And then Jimmy Butler's looking like, hey, I mean, what you want me to do? Turn these foul calls down? I mean, come on. We legit are having these games taken out of the Indiana game where Victor Oladipo, where
This
RJ
game,
Barrett ran. Oladipo ran. I mean, RJ Barrett ran by Oladipo to get to the wing. They called the foul on RJ Barrett fouling Oladipo when RJ Barrett was 2 feet away. The Wizards game where Reggie Bullock is 2 feet away from Russell Westbrook. They call a foul on Russell Westbrook and Bullock blow a gasket because he was 2 feet away and didn't even touch it. They showed on a replay where my man didn't even touch Westbrook. I mean, come on, you have to. You have to stop looking at this thing with blinders on, man. Why is it like we complain too much and we don't get calls, but we should look at it as being something like, we don't understand what's going on. It's disrespect to us.
I'm not upset, Freezy, because it happens to every team. We're not the only team in the league that feels like, I guarantee you, every team in the league feels like they don't get calls.
Name them.
Every team, Freezy, if you went into a locker room and be like, hey, do y'all feel like y'all get enough calls? I mean, and I guarantee you, every player be like, nah, we don't.
I named a situation. I legit named specific instances.
But what I'm saying is, you can consistently, and I haven't watched every single game from every single team. But like I said, do you feel like you can go into the Portland Trailblazers locker room and ask someone on that team, hey, do you feel like the refs don't give y'all enough calls? Do you think they'll be like, oh yeah, we get enough calls? Do you think somebody in Portland will say that? Or do you think they're like, nah, the refs are out for us, we don't get enough calls, they beat us up every game, da 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 da? Which one do you think the answer would be?
I think we're clearly being disrespected. Clearly.
Do you think every team feels like they are disrespected by the refs?
For one, I don't care about all the other teams, Kev. I'm talking about us.
I understand that. But at the same time, you keep saying looking at it from blinders. You're looking at it from a Knicks blinders. Every team feels like they probably get disrespect from the refs at different moments of different games. Every single team. Michael Jordan had to cry. You brought up a great story about Michael Jordan had to go crying to the refs. Michael Jordan, the greatest player ever.
Right. I was with you when you said players get, but Michael Jordan, man, is the worst example. Michael Jordan would get calls right now. Michael Jordan got every call imaginable, and I'm not saying that from a Homer Knicks fan. I'm saying that from a guy that watched the NBA and watched this dude legit.
He got every call.
They called a foul on the popcorn guy because the dude was selling popcorn while Michael Jordan was dribbling. That's a foul on the popcorn guy up in section B. You know what I'm saying? On Michael Jordan, for Michael Jordan, man, the Michael Jordan thing is crazy. You couldn't even breathe on Jordan. You couldn't even breathe by Jordan. There was legit a no breathe zone. There was a velvet rope around Michael Jordan. If you crossed the velvet rope, he was getting a foul call. You know what I mean? But what I'm telling you is that, so you played in high school, if a defender touches you and touches your arm in a shooting motion, it's a foul. You know that. And you denying that fact. You justifying what the referee said, you know what I'm saying, and for the sake of neutrality.
Again, I'm upset we lost 2. But what makes me feel, because here's the thing, even though Julius, go back to the previous possession, right? Do you know what happened that previous? Because I sent out a tweet actually about it. Do you know what happened in the previous possession? The possession before that, what happened?
I'm gonna check it. I'm gonna look for your tweet.
Talking about the dunk?
No. The Alec Burks when Alec Burks thought he was Ray Allen.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, well, Alec Burks.
We had a lot of really wide open looks, man.
Alec Burks had a chance to tie the game.
He had a good looks.
And the corner, he had a chance when I think it was Quickley drove in, missed it, and I think Julius came down with the rebound.
Yeah,
kicked it out.
He did.
Alec Burks wide open in the corner.
Yep.
To tie the game.
Gotta make it.
So that's why I was like, we had our chances. We did.
We had chances.
Had our chances.
For sure.
And so, no, this game wasn't taken from us because we had our chances. And we can feel upset because we feel that we were robbed. as we should. But I'm not going to sit here and say that we didn't have a chance to tie this game.
So I have a question for you. If we didn't have to challenge the jump ball, which in real time watching on TV, that was clearly a jump ball. I saw that in real time. There's no way that should have been challenged. That should have been called on the floor a jump ball. But if we didn't have to challenge it and it was called a jump ball, would we have been allowed to challenge the Julius Randle final play?
I think you only get one challenge.
So you're okay. But so what I'm saying is if the Knicks didn't have to use a challenge there, say they call a jump ball, so we didn't have to use a challenge, so we still have our challenge. We technically could have challenged that, right?
Right.
Yes.
Right.
So my frustration is that. My frustration is that that was not called on the floor a jump ball. Because in my opinion, in real time, watching that on TV, that was clearly a jump ball.
The Julius Randle play?
No, I'm talking about the play. No, I'm talking about the play before where we had to challenge the ball we got a jump ball. We trapped it. It was clearly a jump ball. R.J. Barrett did not foul. We swarmed him. It was all ball. I did not like
Harris.
I don't even remember, but I'm just saying the fact that we had to use a challenge on that play drove me nuts because the final play, we couldn't challenge it.
Right.
Well,
the game was taken out of our hand.
Well,
He's saying the game was taken out of our hand.
I don't think Tom Thibodeau wanted to challenge that. The players wanted to challenge it, and he was like, okay, I feel – because remember, they was like, no, challenge this. Because Tom Thibodeau, if it was left up to him, he wouldn't have. But when the players got all irate, like, no, I didn't foul him, that's when Tom Thibodeau challenged it.
I think he wanted to challenge it. You really didn't think he wanted to challenge that?
I don't think at the time he would have. Because like I said, it wasn't, he didn't do it until RJ and all of them came running over there saying,
I have to go back and see how fast it was. Okay. I mean, I get Freeze's point. Look, there was the first half of the game, no pick and roll defense. That had big part of the loss. So I'm not going to just blame it all on the refs. But yeah, it's frustrating when you make a comeback like that all the way back. The way we were trapping, the way we were getting the ball back, all the jump balls. The fact that we couldn't get. I mean, if you feel bad about it, you feel wrong that you couldn't at least. We deserved a shot at the basket there, so that is very frustrating.
Yes. Right.
I mean, I agree. Everybody wants to put up that shot. But like I said, to me, the only thing Julius would have had to do was just drop the ball. That's all Julius had to do is let the ball go.
Why is this always about the Knicks? Why is this always about the Knicks doing something wrong? Why can't the referees at some point just be neutral? This is always about the Knicks doing something wrong. This is frustrating. All the Knicks had to do was, when it came to the Nets and other teams, they don't have to do that stuff. All they have to do is just be there and play basketball. But with the Knicks, we have to do special stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's the referees have been bad across the league. I get it. We've had a bad whistle in some games. There's no doubt. I mean, Scott Foster is well known as nobody likes Scott Foster. You ask him Damian Lillard on Twitter. Look at his Twitter account. Look at Donovan Mitchell. I mean, it's just nobody likes this guy. He's just not a great ref. He's got a reputation. So I don't want you to think it's just us. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I was proud. The fact that we had a chance, down 3 points, to get the ball back in that game the way we looked in the first half of that game. I mean, come on. I mean, we fought Frank. I don't know if you talked about Frank, but Frank had a huge – I mean, and I thought 3 of his fouls were bogus, Freezy. Let's talk about those Frank fouls.
I talked about 2 of them already. I spoke to 2 of them already. The 2 on Kyrie, where Kyrie tripped over Frank and they called the foul on Frank. I mean, come on, man. That was good. Frank was in good defensive position. If anything, the worst case scenario should have been let them play because Frank was in good defensive position, right? The court is not just allowed. The court is not out there just for offensive players. There's defense on being played too. I mean, at some point, you can't just say, well, the Knicks shouldn't even be here with this team, so we're going to give the Nets all the calls, man. You can't do that. You have to let them play, right? You have to let them play, and it smells to me like Big Brother is making sure that Brooklyn stays undefeated, and make sure that the Knicks stay thirsty, because the Knicks fans won't go anywhere if they lose. If we can, you can take games from the Knicks fans, and they're crazy enough to stay Knicks fans. They won't vacate and stop watching. If anything, they'll watch more.
I'm
I'm speaking to conspiracy.
I don't believe that at all, because here's my thing: as long as Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, and James Harden is on the Nets, people are going to like them. They don't have to worry
Really?
about fans, because there's such thing in today's society called the bandwagon. And as long as that bandwagon keeps on churning, the Brooklyn Nets right now don't have to worry about
Right.
losing fans.
Right.
But it can't.
Who has more TV viewers right now? The Brooklyn Nets or the New York Knicks?
I do not know.
I don't know.
Right. I saw something early in the year, and it was the Knicks. But I want to see right now today. I want to double back and check. But even the Knicks, who don't have 3 certified Hall of Famers, the Knicks are still in December still had more viewers than the Brooklyn Nets.
Oh, no question.
Well,
No question.
hold on. I have a question. Do the Nets have like their own broadcasting network?
Man,
Yes Network?
Yeah.
They're on the Yes Network? Oh,
I think so.
No, they don't own. No, Brooklyn doesn't own it. Do
the games televised on Yes?
I think the Yankees own it, right?
Yeah, the Yankees own Yes Network.
I thought the Nets were on Yes, but I could be wrong.
Yeah.
But, I mean, case in point. So the Knicks, 0.5 said yeah, they're on it.
Yeah, 0.5 just said it.
So okay, so they're on, because the Knicks obviously are on MSG Network. So I was under the assumption that maybe that was okay because you only saw the Nets when they had national television games. So I didn't know. But if they're on Yes, then I guess it's pretty much like 50-50. So I'm pretty sure everyone in the tri-state area either has both MSG and Yes Network.
I was looking at our schedule. We got a ton more national television games.
Yeah, when they released the second half schedule, I was very surprised because we went from like the fewest to like one of the most.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, and so for anyone who says the Knicks don't have like respect, I'm like, no, clearly we do, because they put us on TV a lot in the second half. I guess when they realized, hey, the Knicks are pretty good.
Yeah.
Let's showcase them. I mean, it's not like we're an elite team either. And so that says a lot too, because if we're a 500 team, but we're on TV like every week. And so that says something.
Did you guys see the part of the game that made me laugh where Harden was complaining to the ref about Quickley's and foul, drawing the foul? That made me laugh. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I do know what you're talking about. Harden
I mean, come on, man. You get every damn call, and you're gonna sit here and complain about my boy doing the same thing? Come on.
And didn't two possessions, like was it 3 possessions before that, Harden looked to do the same thing?
Yep.
Like was it? I don't know if it was. And so I may have this thing backwards, but Harden comes around the screen, and the roller is going to the basket. Harden cuts behind the roller, right, and goes over to the other side, gets a foul called, and then he's complaining like, this dude Quickley is doing the James Harden. He can't do that.
I mean, I guess it's one of those things where players try to get all the advantages they can, especially as the game gets tighter. I mean, it was an interesting game.
Salute everybody.
Man, how are you?
Good. How's everything feel? How was the game, man? I know we competed, but to be honest with you, this game was kind of frustrating at times, man.
Yes.
Uh,
Very much.
yeah, we can't clog the paint to save our life. Okay, 58 points in the paint for the Nets. We only had 40. That's ridiculous.
Well, we aren't a. I mean, the only person who really drives in is RJ at this point in time. I mean, Julius is
Harden and Kyrie. Hell, Jeff Green was going to the basket at will.
We were hedging way too much. The
Mhm.
second line defender, wide open.
Yeah, too many dribble drives, and also here's the thing: we actually made more threes than the Nets, but the problem also, I think we wait too long to get to our offensive sets at times.
Yeah.
I mean, we competed. Don't get me wrong. I mean, we did fight, but here's the thing that kills me. Oh my God. Okay, Quigley, he had 21 points for 6 of 19. Come on, man, really? Randall, he did give us a double double, but why would you wait to the fourth quarter to be aggressive? Another thing that kills me too. RJ Barrett. The numbers may look good for Barrett, but when I watch in this game, he didn't play all that well to me, in my opinion. It's like, again, I won't go too hard on us because we did fight at the end, but at some point, if this team wants to take the next step, we need a rim protector. This is when Mitch could have helped us in this game because guard the rim. And also, we need a closer. That's what I'm saying. We did battle back, but we need a go-to guy that could take over the game. That's what I'm saying.
It's all fair points.
But like I said, this was a game where as the game got closer and towards the end, like I said, we had our chances to win.
We had
We had our
chances.
chances to make plays,
Mhm.
and there are certain players, and we all know. I think everyone on Blowing Serious know that I completely and utterly despise Reggie Bullock and Alec Burks.
Reggie Bullock in the first half on fire, 17. Second half, 2 more points than us in the second half. Come on.
That's been the story with him, inconsistency.
Yep.
Story with Reggie Bullock is he sucks.
I don't think he sucks. He's just inconsistent.
No, he sucks. And I know this is gonna sound awful, right? I know this is gonna sound just awful. And listen, I know. But I've never once, how do I put this without sounding bad? I feel like they had a blizzard in New York, right? And I was like, with all that snow and ice, Reggie Bullock didn't slip and fall and hurt himself at all.
Oh, that's terrible.
Time.
Yeah. It's crazy. Yeah.
One time, nobody, all that ice up there.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I got to get my box of banana peels out again.
Mm-hmm. Well, hopefully it doesn't snow. I think by April the weather will get a little bit cool, will get a little warmer. So I don't think we have to worry too much about snow for a long time. That's just me. I could be wrong though.
I saw this reading this tweet. It was like Adam Silver. So Scott, the Lakers are playing in 30 seconds. You got to end this real quick.
For what? They're rolling through the Warriors right now.
Yeah,
I'm watching the game a little bit, but they're rolling through the Warriors at this point. So yeah. But here's what kills me with this game. I give the Knicks credit for showing. It is a joke. I've given us credit to battle back, but here's what kills me. Why would we wait till we down 18 to show passion? That's what I don't get. It's like, again, I know we don't have Rose. I know we don't have Peyton, Mitch. I get that. But they don't have KD or Blake Griffin. Like, at some point, we got to do a good job fighting through screens and clogging the paint. Okay? Nerlens Noel is a decent player, but he was horrible last night. He was horrible. I'm sorry. He didn't do anything. I mean, and Kyrie Irving, he was scoring the ball with ease, mid-range J's, dribble drives. He was scoring. He was having an easy. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, like I said, the beginning games for the Knicks haven't really been too. We've come out flat the last couple games to open up games. And hopefully that's something that we address. Yeah. It was a very interesting move. I thought. Let me ask you guys, what do you guys think of? I guess Spreewell, you can go first. What do you think of Quickley's first start and how he kind of worked with the first unit?
Well,
Boy.
I thought this was before I killed Emmanuel Quickley. I'll just say this: he had a rough shooting game, but I thought it was important. It was important to me this game for him. If you're going to start him, I feel like get it out, let it rip against this great team. Because it's just a really good learning experience for him to fail, succeed. So my whole thing was, look, with the injuries that we have on this team, with the way Frank played last game, although Frank really played well in the second half, and I was sad to see him go. But quickly, I didn't feel like he took. Maybe he rushed a couple, but for the most part, he took the right shots. Like he was missing shots that we all know he can make. I thought there were a couple times he turned the ball over. I don't know how many turnovers he finished with, but there was a couple times
actually didn't have any turnovers.
he didn't have it. Okay, maybe I missed something.
Looking at it, Julius had 5.
Julius had 5. Yeah.
Yikes.
Julius had 5.
If you look at the box score of a Quickley's line, it looks like a good game by Elfrid Payton.
Yeah, he didn't have many assists from what I saw. He didn't really run the team the way we needed to.
He had 2 assists.
But I'll say this. If he makes, I know we all know he's a good shooter. He took a lot of shots that I'm like, I want him to
12 threes, made 4.
I feel like if he makes 4 of those, we're really not griping as much with his performance. But yeah, he's got to be better. It was a struggle, but he's going to learn from it. I'm not worried about him.
Me too. I won't worry too much about Quick. He's a rookie. He will learn. I thought I mean, he didn't play horrible. I'm just saying is that, yeah, he could hit those type of shots, but I felt they need to utilize the mid-range game more. If I were Quickly, you got to utilize the mid-range game more. And even though he can hit the floater, sometimes I feel he used it too much. And he can hit threes, but I feel sometimes he was trying to be like a Steph Curry, shoot a lot of crazy threes. I like Emmanuel Quickly, but he needs to learn to get other guys involved, and he needs to utilize the more mid-range game. That's what I think he should do. For the other guys on the team, Alec Burks was mediocre. Reggie had a good first half, was a ghost in the second half. I felt Randle waited too long to take over.
Randle was bad defensively in the first half.
He was terrible defensively in this game. Like, DeAndre Jordan was getting dunks. He didn't close out the three-point line. Again, I like Julius Randle. When you watched, I know the stats may look good, but when you watch the game, I felt he wasn't super impactful, in my opinion. That is me.
Yeah, I agree. In the first half, I was not happy with Randle.
I was not. Yeah, you can miss shots, but I felt he took a lot of jump shots. Yeah, he likes shooting those fadeaway baseline shots. But if you're Julius Randle, you have James Harden guarding at you. Go to the post.
It was actually, hold on one second. I want to see something.
I'll be honest, Kevin, not to interrupt you, I'll just say this. I feel better, as frustrated as I was at halftime of this game. The way the finish of this game, I feel better about it than I do the Thunder win. Is that weird?
Crazy. So wait, you feel better about us only losing by single digits despite the fact that the defense wasn't all that great if you actually watched the game?
The defense was bad, but the defense was bad at times in the Thunder game, too.
It was. It kind of was. Because in the Thunder game, we gave up in the first quarter, we gave 70% shooting in the first quarter.
Like close to 37 points, 35 points, something like that.
Without SGA, without Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. I know the Knicks started to clamp up defensively the last 3 quarters, but still, again, we're going to have flaws. Don't get me wrong. We're a young team, but at some point, we got to make some adjustments here. Here's things. We need Derrick Rose back. Please. Yes, please, we need him back. 2, we need Mitchell Robinson back when healthy.
Yes, we
3, if you're Julius Randle, you had a great year so far. Learn to post up consistently. Don't just settle for jump shots a lot. No, again, RJ Barrett, He's had a good year, but I felt against Brooklyn he waited too long to be aggressive. He has to attack the rim early, and he cannot force shots. I know he's a second year player, but sometimes he forces too many shots a little bit though.
And
I'm sorry.
G Money. One thing about Randle that you talked about, the play that he brings and swipes the ball like to his other side when he's about to shoot that shot. Some refs will give him that call and call a foul.
Exactly.
Some won't, and I feel like
you gotta
Randle's
shoot it early.
You got to shoot it earlier and shoot it to make it because not all the refs are going to give you that call.
They won't give you that call, and even if they make that foul, will he have hit the free throws? We don't know.
Right.
I mean, things could have happened, but again, Brooklyn earned the win. The Nets outplayed us, but at the same time, this is the stuff I'm talking about. We gotta get rim protection. Okay. Also, we gotta run better offensive sets. And Frank Ntilikina, in my opinion, he was not good today. I'm sorry, he was not good. Kyrie ate him alive. In my opinion, he ate him alive with his mid-range, fadeaway, dribble drive, shooting it through with ease. That's just me personally.
To be fair, I hear you, but Kyrie ate everyone alive today.
That is true. I'll be fair. Kyrie is a beast, though. I mean, I'll be fair. Kyrie Irving is a top 5 point guard in the NBA because he's crafty, skilled. That is true. I mean, James Harden, he had you could kind of say an easy triple double. He didn't score a lot of points, but he did a good job with the dribble drive. He did a good job, bringing like the double, giving Jeff Green some dunks, Jordan some dunks, and also did a great job crashing the glass. James Harden, he didn't shoot great, but he had a huge impact in this game.
Yeah.
So, turning our attention, I guess, to tomorrow's game or today's game.
Well, technically today, because it's at midnight.
Back-to-backs against Philadelphia. What are you guys expecting from that? Knowing that we have to go. I mean, not long at all. Not long traveling off from New York to Philadelphia. I'm pretty sure you can take the train.
But we got to be Philly without Joel Embiid. Remember, I know the Sixers have a lot of talent, but here's the thing: they're 3-5 without Embiid. And here's what we have to do, and I doubt we're going to do this. We got to prevent Ben Simmons from driving to the basket. It's going to be hard because Ben loves going to transition. We got to try to rebound the ball over Dwight Howard. I know Dwight is old, but we had to try. Also, we got to close out on Danny Green and Seth Curry from 3. That's my keys to the game. And if you're the Knicks, attack the basket. Because other than Dwight Howard, since Joel Embiid is out, they don't have rim protection.
Well, I recall going back to the first time we played Philadelphia, the matchup between Nerlens Noel and Dwight Howard was not pretty at all.
Yeah.
I literally saw Nerlens Noel bounce off Dwight Howard on a post play.
Mm-hmm.
And it was at that moment I realized, I was like, man, we have some really small. Because it was one of the first games of the season, pretty early in the season. I was like, man, our centers have absolutely no size.
And that was with Mitch.
Yeah, that was with Mitch. That's why Nerlens was matched up against Dwight. I can pull up the box score.
Dwight Howard, even if you watch the game, here's what I tell people: the stats don't always tell the story. You know what I mean? I always say you gotta watch the full game instead of looking at stats because if you watch that game, Dwight had a big impact.
I'm reading Scott Foster's explanation of the final play. It really bothers me. I don't even want to tell you. It's gonna anger you.
That he didn't drop the ball.
He's saying that he doesn't consider Kyrie touched it, but he didn't cause it to be dislodged or loose. So in his view of the rule book, Julius didn't lose control of the ball. I think that's weird.
Listen, like I said earlier, if you go to any street park or rec yard or whatever, and you're just playing pickup basketball, if you go up for a shot and someone touches the ball and you come down with it, everybody on the court, everybody on the sideline is going to yell at you travel. everyone's gonna say you travel.
Yep.
That's just a rule. That's what it is. If you play street ball and you do that and you come back down with it, you travel. And I guess that deep inside, that's why I don't have an issue with it. Because to me, he traveled. Like I said, all Julius had to do was just let the ball go.
Just shoot the ball with E. If you shoot it, hope for the best.
It's not even shoot it. When
He could have passed it.
You could have passed it like Bullock at the corner, at the right corner, or someone could come from a screen, like either Quickley or even a Burks coming from a screen at the top of the key.
It's not even that. This is what Julius would have had a better argument, even if they would have still called travel, even if he would have let the ball go. He would have had a better argument had he went up with it, Kyrie touched it, and he just let it go.
Yeah.
He would have had a better argument.
Yeah.
Had he done that instead of just come down with it.
I agree with that.
I agree. He didn't have to come down with it.
That is where he messed up. All he had to do was just let the ball go.
Uh-huh.
And then Scott Foster would have yes. As soon as he would have saw the replay of Kyrie touching the ball and Julius letting the ball go.
I was more upset at the jump ball than not to call a foul on the floor that got overturned, thankfully. But I was more upset, like in real live time watching this game. I'm like, how do you really call a foul there?
Yeah. Oh, I talk about the Joe Harris play when we're down by 3. Because don't forget, if they didn't call anything, remember Burks stole the ball. So hypothetically, if they don't call anything, that could be a basket. Who knows? To put within a point.
I'm talking about the one where 2 guys on our team, I think RJ Barrett and some other guy, got a jump ball and they called a foul on the floor. We challenged it, and then they said it was overturned. Then they did a jump ball at the center court that Julius.
Oh yeah, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. I think it was double team. I think it was double team Harden or somebody. Yeah, I get what you're saying. So
my issue was like watching that from TV, and it would be easier for me to make the call in real life because I have good eyes. But in my opinion, there's no way you can call that a foul on the floor. That forced us. Look, we may have lost the challenge with the Julius play, but at least we could have challenged the final play. Mm-hmm. We had to use the challenge, G-Money, on that play.
Mm-hmm. Exactly, and we didn't have a challenge to help us out at the end. But what killed me, like I said, for most of this game, giving up 70% shooting for most of the first half. Like, come on. At some point, you got to find your man. I know the Nets are great moving without the ball, transition. I get that. But like you said, we were hedging too much. We weren't seeing our man. And the Nets were just having it scoring with ease for the most part. I know they cooled off a little bit in the second half somewhat, but major way we were in this game because of free throws. Okay, we had more free throws than Brooklyn. That's why we were in the game to begin with. But I'm just saying is that the problem with this Knicks team, we need to learn to move the ball better. Okay, because there's a stretch in this game we shot 35% for a stretch in the game. That is ridiculous. The Nets are one of the worst defensive teams in the league. I think for the game, we shut around like 38% or something like that. Come on. The Nets are not a good defensive team. And we shoot that bad. I know we don't have great offense, but come on. Like, we shot 40% as a team. 40. Not good enough. And the Nets are one of the worst defensive teams in the league. And here's the thing. They don't have, other than DeAndre Jordan, they don't have rim protection. That's what frustrates me in this game.
If Burks or Bullock hit one of those wide open threes, we got at least 3 wide open shots at the last 2 minutes of that game. If they hit one of them, just one of them, we're in overtime.
Overtime, who knows?
Advocating. This is my moment to advocate for Mr. Kevin Knox, because Kevin Knox would have hit that corner 3.
He might have.
There's not a doubt in my mind. Had that been Kevin Knox instead of Alec Burks, he would have hit that shot.
I'm queuing you up, Kevin. This is your moment.
No. I mean, it's possible. Kevin Knox is shooting. He is red hot from the corner 3 because Kevin Knox is not great at the top of the key 3. So you do have a point, Hoodie Kev. Would we have won the game in overtime? I don't know, but we had an opportunity.
I had an issue also with Kyrie. Look, it was a nice thing. Some people say, oh, that's nice of Kyrie to come up to Tibbs and say, oh, you got this team playing hard this year. I don't want to hear from Kyrie. You could have came here. I don't need to hear your opinion on how I'm playing. We like what we're doing over here. I don't need I don't need you to. I know he was trying to be nice, and maybe I'm just a goofy fan, but you could have chose us, so I don't want to hear your opinion. I know we're playing well. Go away.
I mean, here's what I think. I respect Kyrie's right to have the opinion, but I don't respect the opinion he said. There's a difference, though. So I get what you're saying, Latrell's free roll. Like, I can respect his right from to say that. I just don't respect the action. You get what I'm saying, man? There's a difference, though. So what I'm saying is this. Oh, boy. I'm sorry, but 40% shooting, okay. Oh, my God. Okay. We have to be better. We got to move the ball better. I'm sorry. We got to be better with our transition. And again, like I said, we need Derrick Rose back. This offense is inconsistent without Derrick Rose. It really is, though. Because you can make a case. If he would have played in this game, we would have gotten to our sets easier. What do you guys think?
Oh yeah, we missed Derrick Rose tonight. I mean, there's no question.
Uh-huh.
It's not ideal to start quickly, but given our
Mhm.
injury situation, I thought this would be a good moment to do it. He struggled, obviously, but the second unit in that,
Was
especially in that first
the
half,
second unit was terrible.
you're talking about the offense struggling like that. We had a
Offense
stretch in the
and
game where
defense.
we where the game got away from us, and it got
We were
all the way up to 20 points, 18 points,
No, we were down by 18. They never led by 20.
18.
No, Brooklyn led by as much as 18. Like we were down by 5, but then the Obi Gibson, the second unit came in, and then the game just went away because we didn't stop anybody, and the offense was just gone. And then we had to wait till the first unit to get us back in the game. What kills me with Thibodeau is this. With this, if you're seeing that your bench is struggling, take him out. That's what kills me with Thibs sometimes. Okay, yes, he's a good coach, but sometimes his stubbornness gets us in the way. Sometimes it is annoying.
Well, Obi only played 4 minutes tonight.
True.
So it seems to me like he had a kind of a quick leash. To be honest with you, again, this is more selfless motion for Kevin Knox. I don't see what's the difference of playing Kevin Knox Obi Toppin's minutes. I mean, it's not like it could have been any worse because you really want Obi Toppin. Someone, I think it was Mike. I'm going to pull it up. Mike Vorkunov had a stat. I want to make sure I say it right.
Kevin Knox is shooting 40% from downtown, by the way, but he is shooting 40% from the field.
He's shooting 53% from the corner three. Alec
True.
Burks.
Alec Burks. I thought you meant Kevin Knox. Is that Alec Burks?
No, that was a shot at Alec Burks.
Okay. Alec Burks, and don't forget, Bullock was ice cold in the second half, missed those open threes, and Frank missed that 3 too. I think we were down by 4. He missed that right wing.
He missed the 3 on the right wing. That would look bad. That was bad. Toppin even airballed a 3.
So Obi Toppin, here it is. Obi Toppin has taken 20 corner threes. He's made 3 of them.
Damn.
Are you saying Kevin Knox can make more than 3 threes?
And he's airballed 7 of them.
Oh,
Toppin's look bad, man. I'm worried about him.
And so I would like to go with the player, and I love Obi, but I would like to go with the player who's hitting 53% from that same.
Please, I would. You can make a case. I know Kevin Knox is not the greatest defender, but he can hit a corner 3, and who knows. But I'm sorry. But to me, what killed me was the points in the paint. That what cost the game for me. The points in the paint.
That one play that Harden did that pick and roll, and they picked and rolled us to death. That same
pick and roll, slip roll, and you know what I mean. They pick and rolled us. They dribble drived us. They broke to the teeth of the D with ease. It's like, look,
I think the Knicks can learn a lot from this game, though. I really do.
I mean, hopefully, I still think we'll make the playoffs, but I'm just saying that it's not going to be easy.
Did you expect the Knicks to win tonight? I didn't.
To be honest, no.
I came on last night and said that we weren't going to win.
To be honest,
I'm
no.
sure that we're not going to win against Philadelphia.
Without Joel Embiid, to be honest, it'll be tough, but without Joel Embiid,
we got a shot.
We could win that game. We have to win that game.
Even with Tobias Harris and Ben Simmons as presently constructed, the 76ers are still a bit. Because here's the thing: even though Dwight Howard's older, he's still a formidable body
True.
there, and they're still going to play their style of
Mm-hmm.
basketball. They're at home, so it's all about one, which players are we going to get really bad Bullock and Burks, which more than likely it seems to be because Burks used all his Bullock used he's a video game player and he builds up ammunition
Yeah.
and he spends it all at once and then he has to take time to build up some more ammunition. So he used all his ammunition tonight and he ran out. So don't expect any more good games for Reggie Bullock for about the next 9 games. So
Yeah.
Oh,
Gentlemen, I gotta bounce.
Oh,
I gotta bounce, but I'll just say this. I know we're all frustrated, but G Money, Hoodie Kev, Uncle Freezy, we'll get back on track tomorrow. I know tomorrow's gonna be tough too, but we got
today. You meant today.
today. I'm sorry,
It's all right.
but I'll just say this: I'm proud of the way we fought at the end.
True.
You could have went one of 2 ways, and we all know that. So they at least made it a game, and I gotta say something positive. But take it easy, guys.
Have a good night.
Have a good night, man. Yeah, so by the way, Burks was 3 of 10. Just want to throw it out there. 3 of 10.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know why, because anything that Alec Burks does not surprise me because Alec Burks is a bet. It's like if you like Alec Burks, if you feel whatever, then you basically like Wayne Ellington and Aaron Aflalo and Courtney Lee.
That's what I'm saying. I don't want no Wayne Ellington. Like, look, hearing this, we may get Wayne Ellington. For what? Ellington can shoot, but his shots like Alec Burks, like, Buddy Hield, like Terrence Ross, J.R. Smith, their shot selection is very poor sometimes. And that's why they're inconsistent. Look, Alec Burks is a decent player, but I'm sorry. Sometimes he takes too many shots early in the shot clock and just wasted the possession. He's a good player, but he's inconsistent as heck, man. It's ridiculous. Again, I'm happy that we competed. I didn't expect us to win. I'm happy that we competed. But at the same time, it's like I felt that we waited till we down 18 to compete. That's what kills me the most.
Like I said, it to me, Brooklyn is an elite team. They have elite talent in Harden and Kyrie, even though they were missing Durant. So what happened is a lot of Durant's productivity tonight was picked up by, of all people, Jeff Green. Like Jeff Green stepped into
Jeff Green was phenomenal. He was going to the basket at will, showing athleticism, and even his hitting a three. Jeff Green looked like the Boston Celtic version of Jeff Green last night.
He was very good, and it goes to show about a lack of defensive intensity from our big men, i.e., Julius Randle. He does not close out well, and it's a product of Tom Thibodeau's system of letting. And I think I was talking to our dearly departed Foxy. Salute Stephen Foxy if you're listening. That I'm not a big proponent of the philosophy of packing the paint and leaving the 3-point line open, because when you have shooters like a Joe Harris or
Harden, Kyrie,
even though like that
Jeff Green, Shamet,
I just don't like the fact that we can leave. I mean, and they only shot, I think,
12 threes. It's only hit 12 threes. We made more threes. We hit 15, which is crazy. Usually, I know New York has been better from downtown the past few games, but usually Brooklyn's more powerful from three because they have more accurate 3-point shooters. But like I said, the Nets were doing more inside out a little bit last night, which is crazy. So, yeah.
Yes. So to me, it was I mean, the effort seemed to be there, and when the fourth quarter came, there was a really really big pickup in the pace that we were trying to run execute. Um, so it's also it's also one of those things where, like I said, this team doesn't have the firepower because Tom Thibodeau relies on people who just don't have the guns to go to a gunfight with. I'm
Pretty
not
much,
about
yeah.
to go to a shootout, and I know two of my players have 6 shooters.
Which is crazy. And here's what kills me with Thibodeau. Okay, with Thibs. I'm sorry. Sometimes his rotations are very, very, very questionable. Sometimes. Look, I know Kevin Knox has been mediocre all year, but at some point he can't hit a three. He is shooting all right, well from three. Play him in this game. Play him a little bit though. We need some shooting, okay? And oh my god. And also Frank. Again, Frank is young, but he's a great defender. But like I said, I know Kyrie is a great scorer, but Kyrie was scoring the ball with ease. That's what I'm saying. He didn't have to break a sweat.
I mean, he was scoring on pretty much everyone. I saw him do a couple really really nice step backs.
Yeah,
Got
beautiful.
RJ looking got RJ looking confused when RJ was guarding him, and then Alec Burks. I don't know what Alec Burks was doing. He was just standing in front of him.
Burst was garbage last night. He was
Um,
garbage,
and so, but there's a reason why you are a superstar player in this league.
which he is.
Because you're not going to let mediocre players disrupt what you do.
That's what I keep
Um,
telling people. When you're a superstar, you got to be. You only not only do you have to elevate yourself, you have to elevate your team. You have to make some clutch plays, like get a steal or hit a clutch basket. Be willing to take on the challenge. That's what it makes a superstar. A superstar sacrifices for the team, and a superstar knows how to understand certain defenses. That's what Kyrie did. The Knicks are arguably the best defensive team in the NBA, but Kyrie took smart shots. He didn't take stupid, crazy shots, but Kyrie took smart shots, and Kyrie Irving made some big plays when his team needed to. Like, remember that one play we were up by 8, down by 8, and Kyrie hit that crazy floater? Like that runner, that was amazing. Kyrie Irving's one of the most gifted and skilled players in the NBA. And you can argue he has the best handle in NBA history. You can argue that.
um, that's saying a lot. Um, yeah, I'm saying a lot.
Okay.
I don't know. I have to think about it. To me, handling is more than I'm looking fancy and doing whatever.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of players can get to a certain spot with the ball in their hands and do
Mm-hmm.
incredible things. With Allen Iverson, um, was that type of player that with the ball in his hand, he was so quick and so skilled with it that his handle was pretty good. Here's a very weird under the radar player of a guard who had handles. John Stockton's handles were really impressive. I'll say that about John Stockton. If you ever go back and you watch like old tape of John Stockton, you'll be like, man, this John Stockton can do a lot of stuff with the ball in his hand. His passing was pretty pinpoint most of the time. Like James Harden today, that he had a pass to DeAndre Jordan when he was cutting the lane, and the fact that he was able to fit the ball into the window that he did to get it to,
Mm-hmm.
uh, because the ball went through. Well, I'm not worried because not like Nerlens Noel was gonna catch it anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, the ball went through Nerlens Noel. It went through Julius and then Nerlens. Oh, was that Reggie Bullock and then Nerlens Noel to get to a cutting. DeAndre Jordan was a really really impressive pass. Um, but yeah, it was they play in the beginning first 3.5 quarters of the game. The Nets were just James Harden was just out there having fun. I don't
Yep.
think James Harden was out there looking to dominate the game by scoring
True.
because he finished with how many?
15 assists. He was doing a lot of playmaking. A lot of playmaking.
Yeah, I mean he had 21 points, and wow, I didn't know he had 15 rebounds.
Yeah, like I said, he did crashing the glass, attacking the rack. James Harden should have hold repertoire.
That was a quiet triple double. I didn't know that. That's impressive. But
Mm,
yeah, so we just have to regroup and go up against Philly, and we know they're shorthanded tomorrow. So
today.
that's one of your pet peeves, I see.
No. I mean, that's not. I don't. I won't call it a pet peeve. I'm just saying that when it's after midnight the next day. It's a long story short. So yeah, I'll make this quick point before I have to go to bed. You're right. We have to bounce back. We competed in Brooklyn for the most part. It's just that we need to be better clogging the paint. We got to be better preventing transition, and we got to be better moving that ball if we are going to make the playoffs. I still think we will make the playoffs. I'm not too worried, but I'm just saying is now in the end of March, our schedule eases up a little bit because we have Philly without Joel Embiid. I know Philly's still a great team. Don't get me wrong, but with like I said, their go-to guy is Joel Embiid in close games. And so we had to take advantage of that because remember, we're only a half game up on Atlanta for the 8th seed. Don't forget, and Atlanta's playing Houston, and Houston's lost 16 straight games, which is horrible. And I'm positive the Hawks will make it 17. So we gotta, if we're gonna make the playoffs, we gotta be willing to beat the top level teams at the same time. Okay, we have to because the schedule in April and May is not great. So that's all I have to say.
No, I agree with you. It's one of the things where the team has to find some level of consistency. I will say this: that we scored 112 points, and we
Mm,
had 3 players who did not even score at all.
true.
So I mean, granted, I'm not expecting Reggie Bullock to have 19 um, ever again, probably.
I
Uh,
think it's possible. It's very possible because Reggie Bullock, one time he could hit a lot of threes in the second half. Sometimes, sometimes in the second half, you know, he's inconsistent. And here's another thing: people say I always make the Knicks look bad. No, I don't. I don't make the Knicks look bad. I had to be honest with what I see. They're a good team, but we're not a great team. That's all I'm saying. We're a fun team, but all I'm saying is that we're not a great team. So no, I don't know where this whole I make the Knicks look bad. No, I don't. But if people want to believe that, whatever. But I know I don't make the Knicks look bad because again, I just gave us credit that we fought against the Nets, but at the same time, I have to be honest about what I see. You know?
I think what people mean by that is here's the thing. So I come on here every night, and
Uh-huh.
although I am the eternal optimist as I started out to be, I do call things for what they are.
Exactly.
But the difference, and I think that if you continue to come on chats and things, what you have to do is um, find a medium, right? It can't just be you come on and it's just straight negative, straight. We didn't do this, and this. And I think that's what people mean. Is like, man, he just came on here and just straight ripping everybody. It's just find a medium. Like, yeah, we didn't do this good, but this is what I took from it. This is the things that we can do better.
Okay.
Um, just stuff like that. It's
Okay,
just
maybe I may go too hard. I admit, I may go too hard sometimes. I'll be fair. I may go again, I'm not a negative person. I'm a very positive person.
and
It's
there's
just that
nothing wrong with calling things how you see it. I mean, I do the same thing. I come on here every night and call things how I see it. There's also a thing that people. Here's the thing: you think are you a movie or kind of person or?
sometimes I sometimes watch certain movies sometimes.
Well, every movie needs that antagonist. Like
Mhm.
everyone needs that person that's just against the grain because everyone is so euphoric about the Knicks, right? Because we're
Mhm.
500 and we're better than everyone else, so no one wants to hear anything negative. So when you
Mhm.
do that, then you're going to be painted as the antagonist. But don't get me wrong,
Right.
everyone loves the antagonist because without the antagonist, Nothing would work because there would be no story. Because you can't
Okay.
sit here on 18 different Knicks shows and everyone's singing Kumbaya and everything's great and smell the roses because that's boring. Everyone's saying the same thing. You have to have someone thinking outside the box. Someone who's going to say stuff to rattle people's feathers. So there's nothing wrong with coming off calling it how it is if it's bad. If it's bad, it's bad. I'll say it all the time. I call a spade a spade.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, I admit I may go too hard sometimes. I'll be fair. I may go too hard sometimes, but all I'm saying is this. I'm not saying we have to be perfect. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying we have to win every game. That's not what I'm saying. But like you said, I have to be honest about what I saw in the game. Yes, our effort was there for the most part. We fought hard. We did a good job running the Nets off the 3-point line for the most part. We did a good job, containing Harden when it comes to scoring. But all I'm saying is this: what irritated me was why did we wait till we're down 18 to make those adjustments? That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying we have to win every game.
Well, you make adjustment when things aren't going well, and sometimes things spiral out of control before you know what to adjust.
Mm-hmm.
And you can look up and you're down 10, 12 points. And then you realize, okay, well, this is what I need to adjust here. And I need to adjust this here. Because if everything's going peachy green, there's no reason to make an adjustment.
That's true. Yeah.
So did he wait probably a little bit too long? Did the team probably take a little too long to kind of uh, get it in gear and pick things up? Yeah, they did.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also good that the fact that Tibbs can make good coaching. Because I'll admit I'm one of the harshest critics in
Mm-hmm.
Knicks YouTube. I'm one of the harshest critics of Tom Thibodeau. I come
Mm-hmm.
down hard on Tom Thibodeau almost on a nightly basis for different various reasons. But I'll say that there are times where he will make some decent in-game adjustments
Mm-hmm.
and kind of steer us in the right direction.
Right.
But at the same time, I'll say this: I believe wholeheartedly that Tom Thibodeau is a better coach when his team is ahead than when his team is behind.
Right.
It's like tonight was a game where they kind of stopped hitting shots in the end.
This
Nets
is
did,
true.
and we kind of went on a little bit of run because there were spurts where we went on a little bit of runs from here and there. There was a 9-2 run in the third, I think, and we kind of pulled the game close.
I think it was a 10-2 run. We were down 94-76, and then we pulled within 86-96. So it was a 10-2 run, I think. Yeah, that's true. And then we pull within 4 to start mid part of the fourth quarter. Is just that a few shots here and there could have made the game interesting. But to be fair, I'm sorry for interrupting you, Kev. I'm very sorry.
When did you interrupt me?
Okay, I thought you weren't doing your sentence because I just want to make this quick point.
No, go ahead.
Okay. Yes, we did a good job, cutting the lead down to show some effort. I'm just saying this, like you said, Thibodeau is better at making the right adjustments and moves when we're up compared to when we're down. I know the Knicks could battle back from a deficit, but here's the thing: that like we all agree, we don't have the firepower to consistently battle back from being down double digits all the time. That's what I'm saying. Because we don't have the firepower like the Lakers or the Nets or even teams like that because we're more of a defensive squad. Yeah, we can score a little bit, but we're more of a defensive squad, hard nosed type team. All I'm saying is if the Knicks want to make the playoffs, which I think they will, we got to do a better job, jumping on the team early because when you try to come back from a deficit, it brings you a lot of energy. You get what I'm saying? A lot of energy to battle back, as you saw against Brooklyn. We competed, we fought, but I felt that if we would have showed that same type of fight, part of the second and third quarter, who knows how different. Again, I'm not mad that we lost for the most part. Because again, we fought against Brooklyn. It's the way we lost, in my opinion.
Yeah, it was frustrating at times, and then you get excited because you can kind of tell there was a come because it was like a when we cut it down to 10.
10.
You're like, oh, well, this game is kind of like in range. It's still enough time. If they don't make a shot here, if we can just get it down a little bit more, then I think we have a shot. The problem is, like I said, when you're trusting players like Reggie Bullock and Alec Burks to make shots when they count, they're not going to do it. Are you a baseball player? A baseball fan?
No, not much. I'm more just of an NBA type person.
So there was, well, I'm sure you heard of Sammy Sosa, right?
Yeah, I heard of him a little bit. Yeah.
Sammy Sosa was one of those players, great baseball player. He would hit home runs when the team was down like 6-2.
Right.
And he'd do this whole thing like, yeah, hit a home run. But when the game is tied 3-3 in the bottom of the eighth, he strike out. And that's the kind of player like Reggie Bullock and Alec Burks are. Like when things are going great, I'm going to hit these shots and yay, look at me. But when you need them to hit a shot, they're just not there. And it's hard. It is hard when you are on the court and like if I'm on the court with them, like Reggie Bullock, like, dog, I don't even want to pass you the ball because I know you're going to miss. Like, I know you're going to miss.
I agree.
And so I'm just going to force up a dumb shot because I can't give you the ball because I know you're going to miss. I'd rather take a shot while I'm falling down face first and try to just throw something up than pass it to you because you're just going to miss it.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I'll make this last point before I leave. Yeah, I agree. Because, like I said, we need that clutch time performer. We need that clutch time shooter. That's what we need in this deadline. Because if we had a guy like a JJ Redick who could hit that shot, or a Bradley Beal, or even a Zach LaVine, we would have probably came back and won that game. So we need that clutch time performer who can hit big shots in crucial moments when we have momentum. And that's the thing. Julius Randle's had a great year. Julius Randle's had a great season. But we haven't seen much of Randle in the clutch. You get what I'm saying? Until last night. And that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying it's all his fault. There's many reasons why we lost this game. But if we're going to, make the playoffs and do something there, we're going to need a go-to guy that can take over the game, can put the ball on the floor, create his own shot, and take over the game. We missed again. We've had a good year because of our defense and our good young youth, and I appreciate this Knicks team for even being in its position to make the playoffs and overachieving. But what I'm saying is that we need a go-to guy. That's all I'm saying. If we can get a go-to guy, then we can do something. Then we can really scare some more teams. So that's all I gotta say. It was nice talking to you, Hoodie Kev, and Uncle Free.
My pleasure.
Nice talking to you too, Uncle Freezy. Hopefully we can get a bounce back win at the City of Brotherly Love in Philadelphia. And have a good night.
Take it easy.
Take it easy, everybody.
Chat, all 51 watching right now. So I understand the frustrations are a little bit high. We didn't come out and perform the way we would have liked at the end. I personally blame Alec Burks. But this is an interesting loss. And as you know, I've said on many occasions, I do not believe in good losses. There's nothing good that can come out of a loss. You lost. Because only two things matters in sports: wins and losses. And you lost. I don't give out participation trophies. So We have to move on. We have to find a way to get get better in close game situations. We have to find a way for teams to come in and close them out when it's close, because especially good teams, because we have a habit of having close games against bad teams and pulling it out. But you're supposed to pull it out when they're a bad team. That's what good teams do. But when you're matched up with a good team, because we've been on this end a couple times, how can we find ways to pull it out? Because, like I said, I don't know how many of y'all in the chat would pass the ball to Reggie Bullock in the fourth quarter, expecting Reggie Bullock to hit. And Alec Burks, Alec Burks would have just been what he was tonight. And I don't expect anything more. Like with Alec Burks, I just see Aaron Aflalo or a more aggressive. It's like when Alec Burks is on the court with the second unit, Alec Burks, for some reason, thinks he's the late, great Kobe Bryant. And it's like, no, Alec Burks, you are Alec Burks. You are not Kobe Bryant. But he'll do stuff, and it's like, no, don't do that, Alec Burks. And it's so frustrating. See, because everyone talks about Kevin Knox's body language. Have you looked at Alec Burks' body language when he does his infamous turnover? Because he'll turn the ball over, all the time. In fact, I guarantee he had one tonight. I know he had one tonight. Let me just make sure. Oh, he didn't. No, that's surprising. But will anybody have any questions in the chat? Mike D said, I think RJ is going to be that guy. RJ has been playing really, really good basketball lately. For all those Barretteers out there, he has played extraordinarily well. Better than I would anticipate him playing recently. He'll have his ups and downs, but his shot has really, really, really turned around from where it was in the beginning part of the season, where it was just like god awful. So I'm really, really happy for RJ. And I know I don't really talk about RJ a lot, but I'm really happy for RJ that he can get this type of success, and hopefully he can grow and really take this franchise on, like I know that he can. So, who said RJ was overrated? Are you saying that I said that? Haddock and Sharon? YouTube watcher, are you saying that we are lacking viewers because I'm no longer berating that Kevin Knox needs to play 30 minutes a game? Because he does. Because I saw Alec Burks towards the end of that game tonight, and I said it earlier, thought he was Ray Allen for the Miami Heat, and I'm just like, dog, why would you do this? RC Creative, salute to you. Hadding says, we will bounce back, and what do you think we need tomorrow? Really feeling RJ will be a star. Well, here's the thing. So Ben Simmons right now is one of the leading candidates for Defensive Player of the Year. Ben Simmons' perimeter defense this year has been really, really impressive. And the last game that we played against Philadelphia, RJ struggled against Ben Simmons. So it's going to be really interesting to see how RJ comes out tonight and attacks Ben Simmons. I think that'll be one of the keys to if we can steal this game or not, is if RJ can go in there and he can have success against Ben Simmons tomorrow. If he can't, then it'll be a long night. You're right. As you know, YouTube watcher, I have a dream that RJ, Kevin, and Obi will lead this team to a championship one day. I have not wavered on that, even though Obi Toppin has been playing really bad. Like I said earlier, there's a stat that it's funny. Obi Toppin has taken 20 corner threes. 20 corner threes this season. And has made 3 of them. And he has airballed 7. So he's airballed more corner threes than he's made, which is an interesting stat all by itself. Extraordinarily interesting. I don't even know how that's possible. So yeah, there's another reason why I think it's one of those things where it's politics, because not like you can say Obi Toppin plays good defense either. Could Kevin Knox come in and play above Obi? It's a possibility. But there's powers that be that want to see Obi play. And I think Tom Thibodeau has a boss. So that's what I think about that. Listen, Haddocken, Obi is going to be fine. In the long run, Obi will be fine. I'll say this. It has to be really hard for him to come in with Julius playing the way that he does. Like I said, the last thing any young player wants to do is go into a game and have to look over your shoulder. You know, you can't focus that way. So might be, well, yeah, you can kind of see that he's taken out of his element. I don't think here's the thing, can Obi hit a 3? Yes. Does that make him Dirk Nowitzki? No. His game is more downhill. His game is more above the rim. But the Knicks style, he has, Obi Toppin has yet to play with a point guard that can bring the most out of his skill set. You saw that briefly when he played in the beginning with Derrick Rose, when uh when when Derrick Rose was the primary ball handler and Emmanuel Quickley was off ball. And I thought that Derrick Rose probably was the closest thing to an actual point guard that Obi Toppin has actually benefited from this entire season. And when he's playing in a backcourt with Emmanuel Quickley now, who's looking to get his shot first and not looking to create, Obi Toppin's just standing around looking lost because he has no one to direct him. And that's what he needs. Obi Toppin's like a musician who needs that orchestrator. He needs to be told the notes to play. And I guarantee the music that he can play is beautiful. It's just he just needs direction. And right now, the point guard situation might be one of the worst. We have some of the worst point guard play from the standpoint of a position this season because we don't have a true floor general on this team, and that hurts Obi Toppin's development.
That's Obi Toppin's fault.
How is that Obi Toppin's fault?
No, I ain't answering that.
So you just make a
I'm not.
statement.
Yeah, because what you just said, man. Why Hoodie Cav? If there's a player that you dislike, just say you dislike him, dog. I mean, because you said we have the worst point guard play in the NBA, right? But Tom Thibodeau himself said Saturday. He said Saturday that point guards come in all shapes and sizes. They all have different skill sets. He was like, you have your downhill point guards like Alfred Payton. You have your floor generals. You have your shoot first. You have your facilitators. You have your defensive first point guards. You have your all around point guards. So every point guard is not going to be the same person. If there's a preference, if Obi Toppin needs a specific type point guard, then we should say that. But to say that Emmanuel Quick is trash just because he's a shoot first point guard,
I didn't say he was trash. I
hey
didn't say
man,
Emmanuel Quickly was a bad point guard.
we're alluding to that by saying we have the worst point guard situation in the NBA. You just said that.
Yes, I do not believe that Emmanuel Quickly is right now to be a floor general.
We don't need him to be a floor general.
Let me rephrase. The Knicks have no floor general. We have no one to facilitate or orchestrate an offense.
Okay.
And some players need to be orchestrated. I guarantee almost every team has a player that can facilitate and orchestrate an offense. And the Knicks don't have that. Because all the guards on our team have a mentality, I need to get mine.
Okay. I'm not bashing your overall point. I just think it's unfair to say the Knicks have the worst point guard situation in the NBA when we have Emmanuel Quickley and Derrick Rose. I don't think Derrick Rose is that bad. I don't think Emmanuel Quickley is that bad.
No. When I say that, and I try to clarify, what I mean is the Knicks are lack, and I think you saw when Derrick Rose first got there. I think you saw glimpses of what Obi Toppin can be if he had a point guard who actually took the time to set him up. And Emmanuel Quickley does not do that. Frank Ntilikina doesn't even play enough to be able to do that. Alfred Payton is unable to do that. I don't know why, because he's always played with pretty good bigs, but I don't think Obi and Alfred have actually played that much together.
Alfred Payton is overrated in his career. Alfred Payton is overrated. Like we legit look at his assist totals and think this dude's a facilitator. He's not a facilitator, man. All Alfred Payton has done his entire career is come down the floor and pass it to a wing player that was an excellent scorer. Look at all the teams he played on prior to the Knicks. He played with excellent wing scorers, right? He brought the ball down the floor and got out of the way. He legit came down the floor and passed the ball to Terrence Ross and Evan Fournier, right? He legit came down the floor and passed the ball to Drew Holiday. He legit came down the floor and passed the ball to Devin Booker, right? And he gets to New York and passes the ball to Reggie Bullock. And now we're like, well, wow, it must be a Knick thing. No, it's not a Knick thing. It's a Reggie Bullock thing. I mean, it's a Alfred Payton thing.
No, it's a Reggie Bullock thing too.
No, it's not a Reggie Bullock thing, man. Reggie Bullock is who he is. And Reggie Bullock is a can of corn. You can get a Reggie Bullock from any grocery store USA, right? And he knows that because corn is valuable in the grand scheme of things. It's not the most valuable, but people want it. You know what I'm saying?
I think that you are and this is me, and this is the God honest truth, and it's funny that you brought up corn. I despise corn. Like, I hate corn.
Me too.
I will not eat it. I hate it, says Sam I am. And it's just so funny that you compared Reggie Bullitt to a can of corn. But proceed.
Right. So my point though, big dog is this. We have to look at these players for who they are, right? Not who we want them to be, right? We have to legit look at Alfred Payton had high assist totals because he was passing the ball to Terrence Ross and Evan Fournier, to Drew Holiday, to
Don't forget Aaron Gordon.
to Devin Booker, right? I mean, come on. At some point, we have to stop thinking this dude was breaking down defenses and hitting people off with nice pocket passes. That's never been Alfred Payton. You know what I'm saying? But Alfred Payton was never a threat from three where the defense had to respect his 3-pointer. So they forced him to pass the ball and create offense for others. Alfred Payton has never been that, ever. And so he comes here and we're like, but look at his career total, assist totals. Nah, man, come on, dog. Come on, dog. What is Alfred Payton? Alfred Payton is what he is, right? I mean,
And
come on.
that's why I said I don't blame Obi Toppin because Obi Toppin needs a point. He's a high flyer, right? Like, I think Blake Griffin was extraordinarily blessed to begin his career with Chris Paul.
Right.
Like, I don't think without Chris Paul, Blake Griffin would be the Blake Griffin that we know he was today.
I'll take it one step further. I think we drafted Obi Toppin because we thought we were getting Chris Paul.
Exactly.
I think the Knicks front office thought they had Chris Paul in the bag, so they drafted Obi Toppin.
I agree. And you heard my stance before on why I don't give Leon Rose a pass for not getting it, because in my situation, when a player, because the NFL is weird, the NBA is weird. Like, Chris Paul wasn't about to sit out, right? He might have wanted to be on the West Coast, but
no, the Jets are weird. The NFL's not weird. The Jets are weird.
The Jets surprisingly made some moves today. Bless you.
Did they get Galladay? Thank you.
No, we didn't.
Okay.
We got another young, dynamic receiver.
Who?
Corey Davis.
A young, dynamic receiver, Corey Davis? Are you serious? From the Tennessee Titans?
Yes.
Oh my God! I almost threw up in my mouth just now. Corey Davis, is that a young dynamic receiver?
He is 26.
Okay.
He had 984 yards in 14 games.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's young and dynamic, isn't it?
Okay.
Now, I mean, we still have.
What did he do before 2020?
Well, he was the 5th overall pick in the 2017 NFL draft.
I know the Mitch Trubisky draft. I know this.
So he was very highly touted out of college.
Right. And for 4 years, he did nothing.
He had a injury his second season.
Part of that had to do with Mariota being trash too, but I dig it.
But when Ryan Tannehill got there, he took off.
Yeah, the offense opened up.
In a year and a half, he's taken off.
AJ Brown. I was going to say, I think it was more AJ Brown taking some of the pressure off Corey Davis, but I understand where you're coming from, though. Because when Corey Davis was touted to be the number one, he didn't do anything.
So you trying to say that the Jets got a number 2 receiver?
Number 2 sums it up. So for people down south, when you hear the term number 2, you know what I'm getting at. Do you have to number 1 or number 2? Yeah, Corey Davis, you're number 2.
We also got Carl
Lawson.
Lawson.
Right.
I'm about to say Carl Lewis for some reason. I hope we didn't get Carl Lewis.
Yeah, that's basically who y'all got, right? Carl Lewis. All right.
Who is one of the best defensive ends at putting pressure on quarterback.
Yep. I like him. So what kind of defense are y'all running?
Well, we're changing to a 4-3 defense after 12 years of 3-4. I'm going to miss the 3-4 defense.
Man,
I'd rather run 3-4 than 4-3.
I'd rather run 4-3. I'd rather run 4-3 and as a base, and then run the 3-4 look in a nickel and down packages where you can isolate speed against left tackles. You know what I'm saying? But as a base, I don't really like it because running backs that can catch the ball out of the backfield absolutely eat up those big linebackers, outside linebackers that can't cover. So then you have to have
good safety play.
Right, I was just about to say now because it forces you to now you got to bring your safeties up a little bit, and it makes you susceptible to other stuff like receivers that can take the top off of defense, and if they bite on a play action pass, then everybody scrambles back to man or zone. You're forcing dudes that are 260, 250, 260, 270 to cover in space. I don't really like that.
Well, but yeah, we also got a linebacker, Jarrett Davis.
Jarrett Davis, where's he from?
He was in Detroit. He was also a first-round pick in the 2017 draft, a young, dynamic linebacker.
So he was a bust in Detroit, and y'all signed him.
He had 100 tackles and 3.
I'm asking. I don't know. I don't know because if he was great, I'm sure Detroit would have probably tried to keep him.
Well, Detroit is switching over to a 3-4 defense with a new head coach, and he doesn't fit that. So, but he was really bad under Matt Patricia, but he was really good under the head coach. I can't remember his name.
I see his face. I can't remember his name. Schwartz.
No, Jim Caldwell.
You
forget Jim Caldwell was the coach of Detroit for like 2 years.
Yeah.
So that's but we are. I mean, Kenny Galladay is still on the table. We still have plenty of money. We probably need another receiver. What surprised me is leading up, we were really, really heavy into the offensive linemen. And the 2 that signed today became like the 2 highest paid players at their position.
Yep. The offensive guard, right?
And Joe Tooney and Corey Lindsley.
Right.
So
I like both of them.
They say, c'est la vie.
Hey man. What can you do? The Jets need everything.
We have a lot.
Yeah, I have a lot of money. Right.
We have a lot of talent
and draft picks. Y'all don't have a lot of talent. You just told me last night. Sam Darnold didn't have any talent around him. That's the reason why you can't blame Sam Darnold for being trash. You just told me that last night.
We have talent on the defensive side of the ball, like Quinnen Williams.
Yeah, I have a lot of
Bay and C.J. Mosley and Fatakowski.
Right.
We have players like that on the defensive end.
Right. Yeah. You're right. So what are you gonna do? What are y'all gonna do with Quinnen Williams? Y'all gonna move him to D tackle now?
Yes.
Oh, Jesus Christ, Casey and JoJo. God, hey man.
What?
Okay, so maybe Quinnen Williams will become a dominant defensive tackle. Is he gonna be? Is he gonna be the A gap guy, or is he gonna be um um the offset guy? Like, is he gonna be the nose guard type guy, or is he gonna be
No, that is what
okay?
Fatakowski is. Fatakowski is
Okay.
our nose tackle. He's gonna
Okay.
play that role. He's more of an A gap guy. Think of remember Eric Armstead? He used to play for San Francisco, now plays for the Colts.
Yeah.
Or he's kind of like that.
I know who
Um,
Quentin Williams is. I know who he is. I remember him out of Alabama.
no, Eric Armstead, because
Oh,
you know
okay.
he's gonna be like that. Like, think of the role Ndamukong Suh played when he was in Detroit.
I'm saying I know Quentin Williams. I know him. I know who he is. I know he's going to be a great player. What I'm saying is, excuse me. What I'm saying is, I don't know if he's going to be miscasting his role with this new guy. Is what I'm getting at. And I know you brought up Eric Armstead because of the ties to Robert Saleh. I know that. You know what I'm saying? I remember him in San Francisco. I mean, you know what I'm saying? But
Yeah,
what I was going to talk to you about is this strange thing that crossed my mind. What if the
Well,
Bears trade for Sam Darnold?
I would be upset that the Bears are getting a young, dynamic quarterback who can lead them to a Super Bowl,
And
given the
I
right
would
pieces around him.
be upset that the Bears are trading again for a bust from another team
Oh
that is
wow!
not a quality NFL player.
When you say bus, um, I think that's very unfair to say about Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold had the worst coach offensively in football for 2 years, 3 years really, because his coordinator before Adam Gase got there, they literally got him out of the woods. And I'm not actually making it up when I literally say they hired a guy to be his offensive coordinator who spent a year hiking in the mountains in the woods. That's who his offensive coordinator was. He was literally in the Everglades. And they was like, hey, you want to teach our rookie quarterback offense? And he was like, yeah. Even though I'm speaking out of a coconut phone, like on Gilligan's Island.
Man, dude, go get Deshaun Watson, man, please. Get
Sam
this thing
Darnold's gonna be
over with.
fine.
What do we even?
Once we
That
get
on trash.
once we get Kenny Galladay to go with Corey Davis and Denzel Mims and Jamison Crowder, and hopefully be smart and trade for Zach Ertz so he can play the Jason Kittle type of role. Whew, boy, watch out.
Who
Sam
is
Darnold.
who is Jason Kittle again?
Who is Jason Kittle?
Who is Jason
Arguably
Kittle?
one of the arguably the top tight end in football
Where on Mars?
in
What
the NFL.
what team does Jason Kittle play for?
San Francisco.
Oh, you mean George Kittle?
George, what was I saying?
Jason Kittle. What are you doing, man?
Didn't Jason Kittle wait?
Jason, you
Is it
said Jason Kittle. You said Jason Kittle again, like it was right.
who was the
And
shooting
I
guard? Who was the shooting
and
guard for the Nets in the early 2000s?
Kerry Kittle.
Kerry Kittle.
Oh my God, what are we talking about? Thank you, Jets Universe. This is your representative right here. This is a representative of the New York Jets.
Excuse me, George Kittle.
And I asked you like 3 times. I was like, Jason Kittle? Are you sure?
Anyways, he's gonna be once we get Zach Ertz, he's gonna be our George Kittle in this offense. So
Okay.
watch out.
All right. I would, if I were y'all, I would trade for a guy like Noah Fant. George Fant's brother.
I know who.
You know,
Yeah,
y'all know who George Fant is, right?
I mean he's
And
our starting right tackle who
yeah,
I want to cut.
his little brother plays tight end for the Broncos.
Yeah.
Noah. Yeah. Yeah. he played at Iowa with T.J. Hawkinson, right?
Yes.
I would trade. I would if I were the Jets. I would use one of those high picks for either Hawkinson or Kittle. I mean, or Fant if it were me,
You can use a
because
high pick for one of them. I'm not doing it. I'm using a 4th-round pick to get Zach Ertz.
Zach Ertz is the rule, bro. And Zach Ertz is there.
He
There's
was
a
hurt.
dog. This is the same. This is the same conversation every year. Trust me. I know NFL, man. I do fantasy football every year. Trust me. I know
Let me pull up Mr.
who he
Ertz.
is. I know Zach Ertz. He's hurt every year.
Literally not hurt every year. Literally one of the most productive. Is that?
Yeah, that's you.
Okay, so let me start that over again. For some reason, they didn't want me to look up Zach Ertz because he was like, man, he is phenomenal. So mind you, hurt this past year, but has always put up fantastic numbers.
Hey man. So I got to run. You gonna hang out for a while, or you want to end it right now?
Oh, so just we can end it because so everybody